Good afternoon to Luna. My name is Saúl Soriano, and it is a pleasure to share with you my informative speech video about the consequences of the Civil War in El Salvador. First of all, let us know the origin of the Civil War. The Civil War arose for the dissatisfaction of the peasant with the violation of their rights of access to better salaries, access to food, education, and better health. Also, to the public security forces that used to mistreat the population. Farmers at that time demanded better salaries because hundreds of families lived in extreme poverty. Therefore, peasants did not have access to a sustainable food. Also, the security forces like the National Guard used to beat the peasants and sometimes having sexual abuse against women. That's why the union leaders wanted to have a legal guarantee of being able to demand the rights of the employees. However, the government denied the legal right of fighting of workers for their labor benefits. This social problematic was the genesis of the conflict by using weapons. So the Civil War started at the end of the 70s and it lasted till January 1992, more than 12 years of being in conflict. So the question is, what happened after the signing of the peace accords? Did the Civil War bring good or bad consequences to our country? Let us begin with the first consequence, and this is a negative one, because the country needed reconstruction of bridges, electrical service, telephone service, highways, new buildings, city halls, hospital, clinics, etc. So major bridges such as Golden Bridge and others were destroyed by the guerrilla. Also, power lines were destroyed and telecommunications lines as well. So because of this, the government had to invest millionary figure to rebuild everything most necessary in order to provide public services to the population. So this was a negative consequence. The second negative consequence was that many young people did not continue their studies at school because they had dropped out of school, because they joined the guerrilla or joined the army or left the country. So this situation impacted the social environment and also economic environment. These young people did not have the opportunity to find out a job because they don't have enough schooling. They do not have a guarantee or certificate that guarantee they already finished high school or basic education, so no one could hire them. So that's why they joined to criminal bands. And in 1994 happens a phenomenon that began the gangs of criminals that even though they had already started in LA, California, in the United States, but they moved to our country and they started to join more and more about these young people that did not want the access to have a job or to go to a school. So poverty did not disappear. Instead of that, after the Civil War, the country was poorer with more crime and less employment. This was the second negative consequence. But let's analyze a third and final consequence, and in this way, this is a positive one. Why? Because after the Civil War and after the signing of the peace accords, democratic politics is achieved with more citizen participation. So new political parties emerge with the opportunity to participate in free elections without repression and with the popular vote. So when these new political were elected, they started some reforms according to the law in order to correct some wrong practices in the public service. This was the third consequence, and this one was positive. So as a conclusion, there is no doubt that the Civil War in El Salvador brought good and bad consequences. It brought destructions and therefore a millionaire investment in rebuild everything that has been destroyed. And also it caused unemployment, criminal gangs, and poverty and abandonment of the peasant in the post-war stage. However, it is good to remember that this Civil War opened the opportunity for more citizen participation in politics in a democratic way. And that is part of the legacy left by the Civil War. The Civil War did not eliminate poverty in our country, but it brings opportunities to educate yourself and make the changes with the new generation.